go share with the world, you've got a lot to choose from, and you've got stuff that people are wanting and buying elsewhere. So why not? And this kind of speaks to you know, the moves that we've made with manufacturing or whenever we're putting together products. And this is also what has really kept me with the company for over 11 years now, is just how we do it, how we put it all together, the amount of care that we take. And really it goes back to, and this was, I mean, before my time, the company was literally founded on our mantra of no compromise quality. You know, what does that mean? Basically it means that our mantra, or at Isagenix, we do not compromise time, resources, anything for our quality. If it means that we have to have a product on stock for a while, because we need to hash up or make sure our manufacturer is providing us the highest quality ingredients we can get, we do that. So no compromise, and we're not afraid of that at all. But I mean, I'll just take you through real quick. So when it comes to, you know, ingredient policy, well, we're always looking for the highest quality. So that is why we do source from anywhere all over the world, because we are looking for partners who have quality standards in line with ours, and who also are sourcing the best of the best when it comes to what we're getting. Especially when it comes to like adaptogens, right? We do have a lot of herbal products. And when it comes to herbal products, testing is so important. Testing is very important. So our testing policies, and this has been since day one, and it continues today. We test all raw materials right before they're made into product. Test all raw materials to make sure that, first of all, identity, they are what they're supposed to be, right? There is a lot of adulteration that goes on in the industry, so you want to have the quality testing. But we test everything for identity. Then we also test it for potency, make sure that it's not, you know, stale or 10-year-old green tea powder, what have you. But then we also test for safety, right? So we're testing for heavy metals, we're testing for microbes, pesticides, any contaminants that you would not want in a product you're going to consume. So we do that on all the raw material side, but then we also do it on the finished product side. We do all that safety testing again. We test for label claims, all of that. So we do a lot of testing. And we have, not to say, you know, we definitely have learned things over the years, and we've had to make corrections, even here in Canada with some of our products. And we do that, right? We do, because we're always wanting to be the best that we can, be compliant, be lawful, and make sure we're doing right by our customers. So we do that, and we make corrections where we need to. Of course, we're not into artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners. I know all those products out there are, you know, 0 sugar, 0 calorie is a thing for some people. But unfortunately, we probably won't ever be like that, because that would require using artificial sweeteners. Or a bunch of stevia, which I guess here in Canada, you all do not like stevia. Which is fine, totally fine. But so we don't use any artificial. We also we always try to get the best ingredients, superior ingredients. A great example of that is our whey protein. We don't just source any whey protein. We do source, for the most part, most of our shakes are made with undenatured whey protein from New Zealand, grass-fed cows. We like New Zealand. New Zealand has a very high standard dairy business or manufacturing and process. It's very natural, so that's why we like that. But we do that across the board. We also you'll hear us talk about branded ingredients or patented ingredients, which those have their own value, because it usually means that, I mean, if they're patented, that's pretty good because they've been shown to do something that they may be the only ones that are doing it. Or branded ingredients usually come with their own evidence or their own science. So that's why we like branded ingredients sometimes when it comes to oral supplements or dietary supplements. So we're always looking for the best. And then also too, as I said, we have a variety, right? We can meet the different needs of more and more people and all of our products are gluten-free, which, well, not everybody may need gluten-free products. A lot more people are searching for gluten-free, so every product is gluten-free. But we've got non-GMO, we've got vegan, we've got dairy. I mean, we really do cover the gamut when it comes to eating styles. And then, of course, the clinical validation, which we're going to talk about. But, you know, it's one thing for a company to be like, oh, I'm science-based, which I don't know if you all have noticed, but science-based is I've heard it on commercials with dietary supplements. So it is becoming more of a marketing term that more companies are realizing, oh, this may strike a chord with consumers, and it's very true. But there's a few ways you can do that. I mean, we technically, and if we're talking marketing, right, marketing is always very gray, which is great for some things, but not always. But when you could be science-based by just using ingredients that have some science behind them, showing that they support the body in some way, right? We could say we're science-based. So in that regard, Isagenix is very science-based, right? We do use a lot of ingredients that already have existing evidence showing that they support health in the body in some way. But then, where most companies or products lines fall short is they don't actually have the real clinical science, that their products really have not been studied. And it's not just a white paper. I mean, white papers are okay, but they're basically a science paper that somebody like myself, put together for my company or my product, and we made it public, right? That's a white paper. And it's good to have to get a quick idea, but that's not real science. So again, we do go above and beyond by actually having a lot of clinical studies that we're going to talk about. And again, as you can see, I'll bury myself just talking about science, but it also does come back to the results that people get, right? People get really great results. And so when it comes to some of our latest greatest, Max had mentioned it, or he looked over it, but we wanted to kind of give a refresh to our system. We know our system is great, we know it works, but what were maybe the gaps or some of the things that people were having a hard time with or sharing. So we kept it based on our system, a very science-based system, but we wanted something easier, something faster, because as we know, in our day and age, people want fast, they want quick, they want easy. They don't want to have to maybe coach somebody through this whole, big old box of products that people have to take out. They want something just plug and go, play and go. And so with our 7-day, this is absolutely, it's our system. It's shake days and a cleanse day, 7 days, but it's the quickest, the most simplest version of our system yet. Has anybody tried a 7-day yet? Yeah? Did you like it? Was it nice? Have you tried it with customers?
Walking around.
Okay, well, I'm kind of leading you down, but my guess is that when you do try with customers, again, it's very simple, and it really only requires opening up the guide. It's not that many products that they're taking per day, but it's still the core of our system. So that's why we came out with 7 days. And then also too, I know we may make jokes about the box, but the box does matter. Because you know what, there's a lot of these 3-day cleanses popping up, 7-day cleanses popping up, and they come in a nice beautiful box and it's beautiful packaging, and they're a lot more expensive than this one. And you know what, people are buying it and they like it, because guess what, most everybody, a lot of people need a reset. They need something that's going to help them get on track. They need something that's going to get them regimented and get them where they want to be. And we knew we already have that. We have it in our 30-day system, but we did want to offer something that is staying competitive to what people are buying into. And that is this, idea of a 7-day, 5-day, 3-day reset. So we wanted 7 days, because really, let's think about it. A 3-day, yeah, it's okay. That might get you somewhat on the path, but you probably need at least a week to see some results. And of course, too, based on our system, and Mac mentioned it, but we are, when it comes to Isagenix nutrition, always think holistic, think comprehensive. It's not just one magic product that all you have to do is have one a day. Even though we do have some of those now, collagen elixir, we do have standalone products that are going to have an effect or benefit just by itself. But our, I might be biased because I'm a nutritionist, but we always like it when people use a system, because we know that the sum is always greater than the individual parts. When they come together, you usually get the best results. So just like our core 30-day system is a system of products, so is our 7-day. But it is the easiest, right? 2 shakes a day, 3rd meal, adaptogen elixir every day, and then your cleanse day. Very, very easy. Snack bites on your cleanse day. And then also too, another way to think about our 7-day, which a lot of our products can be, but it's like a gateway, right? Gateway nutrition. It's a great introduction for people who maybe they passed on Isagenix before, like, it's too much, I'm not ready for 30 days. But you know what, 7 days and a little bit simpler, not as many products, I might be able to do that. So it's a great way to reintroduce, to attract attention, or to, there's never going to be a group of people anywhere you meet that they need a reset, right? And for some it might be a 30-day, so start with 30-day, but for some it's a lot more acceptable, or something they can get into, a week, right? Anybody can do anything for a week, right? For the most part. So that's what the 7-day is for, as a gateway. But then also too, after those 7 days, do you just leave them and that's it? I mean, some people might, right? We're always gonna have those crash dieters who really just want that quick fix and then they'll be on to their next thing. But my guess is though they'll have such a good experience, they'll probably come back that next time they need that quick fix. Or for most, we've really designed this as a way to just show people the potential of what our system allows and the the benefits it can have in your body and your life, and then lead to the next purchase or the next system I'm gonna give, which is the 30-day. Or, I mean, as we've already talked about, there's so many great options. I mean, adaptogens are great, but even if just going off the shake, after a 7-day, what is that pack that's just shake? The everyday shake pack, right? Hey, you love your shakes from the 7-day, why don't we get you set up so that you can have a shake every day, right? Make it a part of your routine, whether it's 1 or 2, just shakes. So a great gateway system to lead to the next Isagenix path. And of course, based on that 30-day system. Now, scientific studies. So here's just a snapshot of all the peer-reviewed papers. And what does that mean? I mean, basically, a peer-reviewed publication is the scientific paper, right? It's the write-up of the study. Peer-reviewed means that it's not just like a white paper, or me writing the paper to my study. It means that it has to be reviewed by other scientists. That's why it's called peer-reviewed. So in scientific research, a research team does their study, writes up the paper, and then shares it with the community to edit it and review it and basically poke holes before it can be published and accepted as credible science. So it is kind of a big deal, and that's fine. Not everybody has to know about it, and you don't even have to memorize this yourself. But this collection of papers, I mean, when I say like Isagenix is different when it comes to being science-based or having this clinical validation, because not many other companies have this. They really don't. They may have 1 or 2. It's pretty standard. They might get 1 paper, but then they stop. And the reason being, it's very expensive. It's very expensive, and it's not because Isagenix funds science and then it means that it's cheating or like bias, right? That Isagenix is just fluffy. That's not true. There's a lot of controls in place that, first of all, doesn't even make that possible. Yes, Isagenix has to make the research possible by providing the products, by providing the funding to the university or the scientific lab to do the study. However, that's when after that it's hands off. We don't have anything to do with them running the study, working with the subjects, conducting the research. We don't have anything to do with the results that they find, and then the write-up of the paper. So it is very much a third-party thing, even though, yes, we're making it possible. And I know, again, you're gonna run into people who are like, oh, Isagenix funded those studies again, and it's bunk science. Okay, well then we wanna have the peer-reviewed papers, and then also, I mean, the way you could kind of challenge that is, well, what other companies or products are out there making this kind of research possible? Because it does cost money. And when you have a company that doesn't have any, that means that they're not doing it. So it's actually kind of it should be a point of pride of like, this company is investing a lot of money in science. And it is good science, because we would not have this body of research if that were the case. None of these would be published. And so it is definitely a big deal. And I mean, as you can see, and this is what, I think like 17 papers, and there's the commitment to science is continuing. Another thing I do love about this company that we're not afraid to put our products into tests, to have them studied, and to have these results and have this body of evidence. And a lot of or not a lot, but the majority are the weight loss. Okay, studying the weight loss system, because we've continued to study it through multiple research groups or universities. But the thing is, we don't do the same study every time. Continue to ask new questions, or look at the system in a different way. Like the first study that was done, it was right after I started in 2011. It was, okay, let's look at weight loss in postmenopausal women. Why? Because that's that population, right? We're lucky women, aren't we? That population has a very hard time losing weight. We have a lot of things going against us, so it's very hard. So it was looking at weight loss, looking at other cardiovascular health markers, body composition. Okay, that's a study. And it wasn't just women using Isagenix, it was a study comparing using Isagenix versus just an overall healthy diet, right? That perfect, eat more veggies, eat good fiber, eat protein, all that, watch your calories. An overall healthy diet compared to Isagenix. So it makes it a much stronger study when you're looking at the results, right? Because you're comparing, it's comparative. And they even had that control group actually do a cleanse, or not a cleanse day, but a fasting day. So they were very well matched in their calorie intake and what have you. Anyway, so what came out of that study? Well, we had at least 2 papers. The results basically showed, Isagenix far significantly, statistically significantly, was more successful, or the results were better with Isagenix. So it really just laid that credence to, okay, why Isagenix? Why not just try to eat healthy? Well, we have some really clear evidence showing that you'll retain more muscle, you'll lose more fat, you'll lose more belly fat, your cardiovascular markers will improve to a greater degree. We've got the science. So we started there, but then as the years go on and more studies come, you continue to ask more questions, right? That's good science, is you answer a question and then you ask more questions. So in our subsequent studies, the next one was, okay, well, let's have men and women use the system and look at that. Let's look at it after a year of use, because everybody will say like, well, it only works for, 30 days and then it doesn't. Well, okay, let's look at that. So we've continued to ask questions, and each time it shows, yes, Isagenix does support long-term weight loss. It allows people to keep the weight off. It allows them to continue to maintain their muscle mass. It allows them to remove more toxins from their stored fat cells. Now, more present to this day, we're looking at what's the difference between 1 cleanse day versus 2 day. Is there a clear benefit? And basically what we found is they both have benefit. So, 1 or 2 days, they're both great. But maybe the 2 day, for those who are really focused on losing weight, people doing a 2 day did lose a little bit more weight. So we're continuing to ask questions, and that will continue, but it benefits us all, because it just gives us more validation to what we do and more evidence to be able to speak more confidently of, well, you may want to do this because of this. Also point, not all just weight loss. I mentioned we've studied the E+, we've studied NOx, and we absolutely did show that it supports cardiovascular health and healthy blood pressure. I'll tell you, when we launched NOx, we launched it as part of our AMP line, and we were going back and forth on the science and the product development team. Some of us wanted to launch it as a cardiovascular health product because of nitrates and their benefit, nitric oxide, and the extracts from beet and celery. And then, of course, the AMP went out as a performance product, but still, yes, AMP NOx is definitely supports your blood flow, supports cardiovascular health. So we studied NOx, we studied nitro. Absolutely showed that it does lead to longer, stronger, harder workouts. We've studied quite a few of our products, and that will only continue. So I know that was a big old long tangent, but point being, when we say we're science-based, clinically validated, clinically studied, it really does mean something. And we are different from most others who say that, because we have the actual proof to show it. All right, let's talk about new products. Recharge NAD, y'all heard of it? Yeah. All right, so this product, and we talk about youthful aging, and we have a lot to support youthful aging. Of course, what's one of the best things you can do to support youthful aging? Cleanse days, or really just our system, right? One of the clear dietary strategies or methods that has been shown in humans and animals and cells to support longevity, promote longevity or health span, right? Living healthier longer, health span, is eating less calories than our body actually needs. Calorie restriction. That is one of the strongest science-supported ways to support, hopefully maybe living a little longer health and being healthier for longer. However, though, you need to do it in a way that you are getting all the nutrition you need, right? You eat in a nutrient-dense way. So just our system alone really does support youthful aging. But now something like this, Recharge NAD, kind of is the icing on the cake, if you will, or like the targeted icing on the cake, because now we're providing very specific functional support for our cells and how our cells are aging. So Recharge NAD, what we're going after here is definitely healthy aging or youthful aging by feeding our cells, if you will, because it really, right, everything happens at the cellular level. It's very true. And our cells do a lot for us. They're everything. And so we've chosen here some evidence-based ingredients, right? Because that's where we start. We look at the science. What are the ingredients? What are the nutrients that are supporting these things that we want to have an effect on? So we put together a really good formula to kind of target those areas. So we're going after cellular energy production and cellular protection, or cellular detoxification. Because both of those things together, as we get older, our cell's ability to produce their own energy goes down, right? Like most things, as we get older, it goes down. But then also, if you think about, I mean, just our bodies, our cells' ability to protect themselves goes down, right? It's pretty intuitive. When we're young, our body usually takes care of everything for itself. We don't have, don't have to do anything. But as we get older, things go down. So, cellular energy production, cellular protection. The ingredients that we selected, so NADH, nicotinamide, adenine, dinucleotide, the hydrogen. You don't have to memorize that, but that's where the NAD comes from, okay? And NADH is the part of the product that supports NAD. And NAD, it's a coenzyme in all of our cells. It's very important, right? It's one of those things that kind of has something to do with everything that goes on in our body. But a big one is cellular energy production and helping our body, our cells, produce that energy every day. And it contributes, again, to everything. Metabolism, neurotransmitters, everything, how we feel. So with NADH supporting that cellular energy production, it's got some science showing that it absolutely does play a big part in that, and even supplementing it can lead to improved markers or improved feelings of energy and awakeness, not being so tired. That's why we have the NADH. Now I love that part, that's great, cellular energy, right, to feel better, to feel more energized, but I'm pretty biased. That broccoli seed extract, to me, is the hero in this product. Those of us in the science team, we've been wanting Isagenix to have a product with this broccoli seed extract for some time because, so I mean, we all know, right? Eat your broccoli. Broccoli's good for you, right? And it's a great vegetable. I love broccoli. However, why broccoli is so good for you is because it's a cruciferous vegetable, right? And it provides certain polyphenols that are good for us. And with broccoli, or cruciferous vegetables in particular, they have something called glucoraphanin. I know, we're just gonna breeze through these parts, but it's got something that's really good for you. So glucoraphanin, we eat the broccoli, and then our body turns it into sulforaphane. Sulforaphane, right, and because that kind of goes along, cruciferous vegetables are cruciferous because they contain sulfur compounds, right, sulforaphane. So, our body then, sulforaphane, basically, it works as an antioxidant in our body, so it's protecting our cells. It also is one of the most potent, or the most potent inducer of our phase 2 detox enzymes, which, not like detox, cleanse, but like, if you think about what our bodies have to go through, we need our phase 2 detox enzymes. We need them to protect us from whether it's internal oxidative stress, whether it's external pollution, secondhand smoke, or cigarette smoke, or all the things that we come up against. Our bodies are constantly having to process it and deal with it, right? And you'd be surprised, even you guys are pretty lucky living in a place like this. You're not dealing probably with a lot of, air pollution, but think about, living in cities or riding in the bus or public transport every day. Different people have different levels, but we all have a level to a degree. So broccoli seed just has a lot of science. There's a lot of studies with this broccoli seed extract showing that and it's unfortunate, but they do a lot of studies in China where they have very high pollution cities, and they know people are living with increased exposure, so therefore increased amounts of toxins in their system. And absolutely, when they supplement with broccoli seed, they're able to detoxify or get rid of those toxins. Same thing with cigarette smokers. There's good studies in that showing that when they have this broccoli seed, they are able to detox and get rid of those noxious chemicals. And not only that, though, again, it is about cellular protection now. It doesn't just have to be a smoker or pollution, because we are all dealing with this. So strengthening your cells to better handle, better deal with what we are exposing ourselves to. So as you can tell, I love broccoli seed. Astragalus is another herb, an adaptogen, if you will. Very, very common in traditional Chinese medicine, if anybody has dabbled in that. And also too, astragalus, it does support immune health. Some more recent research is showing it supports our immune health, but also too, it does help protect DNA, or even our telomeres, right? Which we can talk about this in Isagenix, but it does somewhat protect our telomeres as well. Tocotrienols, a really cool form of vitamin E, going back to that cellular protection. It works as an antioxidant, but it's a very specialized form of vitamin E, very different from what is in maybe other supplements, or what you get normally from your diet vitamin E. Basically, it's a more potent and more bioactive form that has a lot to do with, antioxidants, heart health, brain health, skin health, all of it. And then facetin too is also flavonoid. It's found in strawberries, some fruits and vegetables, but not a very high amount. But it's a pretty cool compound. It does also work as an antioxidant, and there's some pretty exciting research looking at its neuroprotective effects. So, a long answer, but the point is we put together some really good ingredients: cellular energy production, cellular protection all over the body, antioxidant, and the goal is to, strengthen, protect ourselves, youthful aging. And then also, because we just, this is a very new product, we are taking advantage of some of the latest in capsule technology. So, right, what's different about this oral supplement compared to others? It looks cool, right? But did you ever think you'd say that about a little capsule? But no, it is pretty cool. And here, what it is basically the little beadlets, or the little beadlets. It's microencapsulation. So the main active ingredients that are water soluble are microencapsulated in those little blue beadlets. And what that does is it is a delayed release of those ingredients or nutrients into our system. And there's a lot of truth to that. The longer that a nutrient or an ingredient can make it through our gastrointestinal tract and be released, we're probably going to absorb it better. Because the better absorption does happen later on in the gastro tract rather than right away when things start breaking down and going, absorbing into your stomach. And a lot of things don't even make it through your stomach. So, delayed release, microencapsulation, these are some of the latest, again, oral supplement technologies that we wanted to use so that we can increase absorption, make the product even more effective. So the advanced capsule technology, not only does it look cool, but it really is serving a purpose, and it's just a sign of us, taking advantage of some of the latest technologies that our industry allows for. But it is pretty cool. Anybody been using Recharge NAD?
Cool.
Can you shout one word, anything that you've noticed?
Looks cool.
More energy. It looks cool. It does. It's kind of fun to take, Energy. And when you're doing, because people have asked, like, well, how long before I notice results? What can I do? Or what can I expect? And probably energy, but also too, something like this, and this is where being science-based and understanding, functional nutrition and what supplements can do for you comes into play. Because we based it on science. We're using it like a clinical dose, what's been used in studies, like say for the broccoli. So by looking at the studies, knowing the benefits that they had, we can theorize that people will probably start having those benefits with time and with regular use. It may be more apparent with a blood draw, right, and looking at certain markers, which we are doing a pilot study where we are looking at some blood markers or antioxidant status, phase 2 detox enzyme status. But even still, that will manifest in, and you may not feel it like all of a sudden, wow, like a zap. But with time, like it's going to be like, wow, you look really good. Or wait, how old are you again? Feeling better, feeling more energy. And then again, that's why we trust in the science and know that these things are good for us. And that's another thing too, whenever people are like, oh, I eat a whole food diet. This is a perfect product that those ingredients, you're not getting it in your diet. Like supplementation is so cool. And this is coming from the gal who's like, oh, so you don't need supplements, just eat a healthy diet. But because of the science around these ingredients and what's been shown already, like it is really cool to be able to benefit from getting these ingredients. Like there is benefit, and they will. And you can't get it by just eating a healthy diet. It's kind of, I believe it's the food and nutrition of the future. We're already here, but it is to be the most advanced way of feeding your body in the most optimal way. Above and beyond. All right, next new product, Nootropic Elixir. This one obviously is all about brain health. Because we want to support all areas of health nutrition. Brain health is a big one. Like Max showed, people are wanting brain energy focus. So it's exactly what we're going for here. It's herbal in nature, green tea, purslane, amla. We do have a little bit of caffeine, got some beetroot to support that blood flow to the brain, because that's important as well. A little bit of caffeine, a little bit less than e-shot, but partly because caffeine is a nootropic in its own sense. Right? And I'm sorry, what's a nootropic? Nootropic is basically any ingredient or nutrient that supports brain performance. And it's usually more acute or instant. You need to think hard or think clear, think well, you need to perform. You want a nootropic, right? You want to be clear, you want to be focused. So that's what nootropics are. And what's interesting about this product is that we definitely put in ingredients that are going to have a somewhat immediate effect, like the caffeine, like the green tea. But we also put an ingredient, or these ingredients also support long-term brain health. So it has both an acute and a chronic benefit or effect, if you will, which is kind of interesting because they're unique, because a lot of nootropic products out there, they go really, again, they go hard after the caffeine because they just want ingredients that people are going to feel something very quickly, but then that's it. So this is a great product, whether you need it on demand or you just want it, you like it, and you want to take it daily as a brain support product, this is definitely a good one. And two, I must say, and I know some people are like, well, you know, what makes it different, or same with the collagen elixir, or all of our elixirs, the shot, and we've been doing it for a while, right, with eShot, E+. The liquid shot is a great way to deliver functional ingredients, or bioactive ingredients and nutrients. It really is, because it's quick, it tastes good, sometimes more than others, and that can be subjective, but still, it's a great way. Liquid, it's easy. I mean, I don't know about you all, but, and especially too, when you take a lot of supplements, it's nice to have something you just crack it, drink it, go. My boyfriend, I'm recently engaged, y'all. It's not that exciting. We've been together 17 years. No, it's never too late. It's never too late. Anyway, the man takes more supplements than anybody. And we're a good pair, but and also too, like, sometimes I can't talk to him about nutrition, anyway. However, he takes more supplements than anybody, and it astounds me sometimes, the stuff he takes. I'm like, you really don't care about the experience, do you? Because he just pours in powder after powder. There's like a gluey gob at the end of his spoon, and yet he'll still shoot it down. But he's also one in a million, right? I won't even do that. Some people are committed, but for the most part, people aren't. And again, they want something quick, they want it convenient, and that's why these shots, these elixirs, a great way to get these active ingredients. And don't worry, we're not only to come out with elixirs, but I do love our little collection that we have. So we've got the nootropic, go after the brain, adaptogen elixir, Matt kind of talked about it a little bit, but basically it's like the younger, sexier cousin of Isagenix a little bit, right? Similar, but a little different, right? It's got a different flavor, it's got some overlap of the adaptogens. You are getting the same, but it's got some other ones in it. It also has fewer adaptogens, so you're getting a little bit more of those adaptogens than what's in Isagenix, or you're getting, just a lot more adaptogens. But still, they both have a wonderful effect. And I love too the sparkling kombucha. Have you all tried this one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
We're
my
just
God.
talking about it. Yeah.
It's so good, and that rose flavor.
How many do you taste? So good.
Well, and that's the great thing with adaptogens, right? There's really no toxic amount of adaptogens known, so. I know, and this is one too, when I'm trying to not drink champagne, because I love champagne, I like to make this into a mocktail. If you have one or two, top it off with some soda water, it is good. And it's better for you, right? So adaptogen elixir, and then of course, our darling. Let's all have a moment of silence. This product, and I wasn't, not that I'm a fan of everything, but at first I was kind of like, all right, are we a little late to the collagen game? Are we gonna really be able to do anything different? I gotta eat my own words, that's what I do. Wow, we did a really good job here. But we did it again, our usual, we based it on evidence. What was the collagen type and amount that we knew we had to use based on the science to have a real effect on skin? Beauty from within, so we went with 5 grams, type 1, marine. We also added in more than just collagen. We added in other nutrients needed for the body to produce its own collagen, vitamin C, zinc, biotin. We also added some botanicals because we love that. And then also too, we've had it clinically studied, which is pretty cool. There is a peer-reviewed paper on that. But basically, surprise, surprise, it showed that it works. It increased natural collagen production, and that's what's going on. That's what you want a collagen product to do, and that's what's going to lead to benefits in your skin and elsewhere. So it increased natural collagen production and increased other markers related to the skin, elasticity, what have you. And same thing, it's super easy. And how good is it? Does everybody enjoy when they have their collagen elixir? Another one too, and can you double up? Sure you can. Absolutely, but do you have to? No, right? Because we base one product or one serving on the science that shows it works. So even one in our study that was done, it was just one a day. But for those people who want to double, I get it. My mom too, my mom. I love her, but because we get great product offerings as corporate, but we can only order so much, right? Because we don't want, you could have somebody at corporate with, maybe doing some double dipping, right? opening up in the parking lot. I know Max busted a few people. Hi, Kit. Anyway, though, my mom, like, I have to take into account, like, my mom into my collagen supply. And then Larry, my man, he takes it too. So anyway, Collagen Elixir speaks for itself. And very much, as Carrie Lynn said, it is a product that can be a great gateway into nutrition, or into Isagenix, right? Because there's a lot of people who probably, maybe they're just looking for collagen. So a wonderful standalone product. Another one, our Hair Revival, a really good one. This was another one too. I was kind of like, oh, isn't everybody doing that? But we're doing it very differently. We really are. We have a very unique, and here we're using we're using a very unique patented ingredient, that banana flower extract that is not in other products, and it's patented for the way it works on the hair follicles. It's basically patented for how it's supposed to work. It absolutely supports hair follicle health and then hair growth. Because when you have healthier hair follicles, your hair can grow. So we started there, but then we also added in other hair supportive ingredients, biotin, niacin. Niacin is a B vitamin, but it supports blood flow in your scalp. Amino acids that are known to support keratin production. Horsetail, which as its name sounds, it does support hair. So a great science-based formula combination, and sure enough, what do we find? It does support hair health. How many of, I know Carrie Lynn, I can't wait to see an X, you're gonna be Rapunzel all the way down. I have a Hair Revival. Yeah, noticing the benefit, noticing the difference? Very good. And see, there again, functional nutrition at its best, right? And ingredients that you can't get in your diet, but you want a very specific function, and it delivers on that. Functional nutrition. Celatois. Another one that I know not everybody maybe uses skincare, but guys, you should. And girls, as you know, almost 40-year-old, I'm amazed at how many of my girlfriends sometimes are like, ugh, I might use a face wipe once in a while. It's like, oh God. You're losing time. You need to take care of your skin with really good products, and these are really good products. This is not our first foray into skincare, and not to bash what we've done before. It was okay. But I will say I helped play a hand in this one, and I'm a skincare glutton like you'd never believe. I love to spend my money on skincare. I don't have kids, so I go crazy, and I love it. I love skincare that just works. And what do you need to work? Well, we modeled this line after medical grade skincare. Medical grade skincare basically means it's only available through a dermatologist, through a med spa. There has to be a certain license, medical license to sell the skincare. And that's great, but we wanted to make something that was, akin to that, but available for everybody. So what did we do? We went after the ingredients that a lot of those lines use, very evidence-based. They've got science behind them showing they do work. So we're using peptides, we're using growth factors, non-human growth factors, we're using ceramides, we're using hyaluronic acid, we're using plant stem cells, we're using nanotechnology to deliver the ingredients deeper into the dermis. So we really went above and beyond when it comes to putting something together that can really go against some of the top medical grades, but it's available to everybody. And we made it in a much more affordable line, easy to use. It's only 4 products, so that's really not too much to ask if you're a skincare newbie. Or if you're like me, I want to be able to put in other products that I use along with it. So it's a very versatile line. And then also too, it's butter. It really is. The way that it absorbs, it goes on. It's beautiful. If you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend you do, because you will fall in love with it. Also too, dermatologist tested, Leaping Bunny certified. It has been clinically tested as well. This is another one we had before it even launched. We had it clinically tested, and absolutely it showed what you would want out of a skincare line. Improved skin appearance, improved markers of skin health. It works, right? It works. Another product that works. And it, like I said, it's just excellent. Okay, so results. We've talked about, the weight loss results. We know, or the body transformation. We know Isagenix can do that. But also with these natural beauty products, I love it too. The before and afters that we're seeing never gets old, and there's a lot that continue to come in. So their collagen elixir, they kind of speak for themselves. I mean, have you all spent hours looking at the collagen elixir? Does it ever get old though? Nope. I'm like, have you seen the lady that had the elbow or the knees, right? I mean, it's not all about skin either. We've had people who have wonderful results with even joints, movement. It really does wonders. The hair too, clinically studied after 8 weeks. reduction in hair loss, improvement in hair density. Again, proof that it works. Those are fun before and afters, which Carolyn, you should have done a before and after, my dear.
Yeah.
Celatoire, clinically studied. And what's cool here too with the Celatoire, found a significant increase after 4 weeks in skin moisture, but then saw a continued improvement after 8 weeks. So that's a really good sign to see at 4 weeks. That's pretty quick to see a significant result, but then after 8 weeks to see a continued improvement is even better. So the absolutely validation that Celatoire works. Same too before and afters. And then, I mean, surprise, surprise. Do you think combining some of these things together is going to lead to even better results? Yes, yes it does. So this is more in-house pilot, but we have done a quick trial of Celatoire and collagen elixir, and practically all of the respondents or the participants saw a difference. So we know our products work. We have multiple products, multiple areas of health and nutrition that we can help people with. It's really just up to them, up to you to help guide them to find what they're looking for. And I mean, shame on me and us, we haven't even really talked about hand, right? So we haven't even covered it all. I've just babbled on, and we haven't even covered it all. Because there's just so much to always discover for the first time or to rediscover with Isagenix, right? We're always going to be there, you can always come back, but we really do have something for everyone. And I think this is a great way to put it, proven, simple, and natural, right? That's what we're going for, that's what we do. But I mean, again, I just babbled on forever. We do a lot more than that, and there's a lot more behind that, but it really does boil down to that. And it works, right? It works. All right, well, and please, I'm going to be here all day and all night. So if you have any questions, I didn't cover anything, feel free to come on up and just, poke me on the shoulder, and we can have a chit chat. But right now, enough of me.